Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Today I'm going to be talking about what we did to the 2JZ so far. So I made a video last few days of the teardown process. And during the teardown process, my father came by and helped me out a little bit because he was just bored, and he's been doing car stuff here and there his whole life too. So he came in and we broke down the engine together, took off, the manifolds, the head, everything down to bare block. We left the pistons, rods, bearings, all that inside of it because we are using that for our first build. Alright guys, so it's been a couple days since I tore this down. I had to go find a bi-hexagonal little key to fit here in order to get the head bolts off. So that's what I'm going to do next. Remove all the head bolts, take the head off, look at the pistons, look at the piston walls, and see if this engine's usable. Alright, so let's get this head off and see what we got. Alright, so let me show you guys what I'm seeing. First of all, there was some water that got in through one of the spark plugs on this cylinder. Everything else looks really clean. There's no scoring on the piston walls, none of that. I mean, of course you're gonna have carbon, that's normal. We're gonna replace this head gasket with a GTE head gasket. Pistons look nice and clean. Besides the carbon, which is gonna be cleaned up, no worries. We're looking good. So next thing to do is to clean her up and give her a paint job. So what I plan on doing next is I'll probably end up reseating. We're going to clean this up, reseating, just temporarily reseating the head, clean everything up, get all the oil off, get all the gunk off, get all this nice and wire brushed, kind of get it all prepped, and then give it a couple of coats of engine paint. We're probably going to go with black. I'm not sure yet. I'll leave the sensors in place, all these little things that need to come out in place. That way it saves me from not having to block them for the painting. So far guys, I'm really impressed with how this looks. This is gonna be the engine cleaning. So I got some tips from my buddy Jared on how to clean this engine. And we're gonna go with a couple different things here. So one, we're gonna use, to get the heavy stuff off, we're going to use like a razor blade kind of thing. So like a razor scraper to get it off the top of the actual head, over the top of the block in this case. Some Scotch-Brite non-scratching pads and a bunch of brake clean. So I've got this many brake cleans here, 5 cans, and we might need more, we'll see. Alright guys, so I just finished washing the engine. So what I did was I put the head back on temporarily, just kind of set it on there. have the water pump on because I didn't want the water to, don't really need it behind a water pump, it's gonna be covered anyway. And what I ended up doing was stuffing the oil filter, and I degreased the motor with CLR, commercial strength, and then I kind of agitated the CLR a little bit. I did that a couple times, and then I have a hot water spigot in my garage, and I did pressure washing with 140 degree water because I have a tankless, and my tankless is adjustable all the way to 185, so I did 140, which pretty much got this thing spotless. Here, if you rub it anywhere, doesn't matter where you rub it, it's completely debris free, so it's very clean. It's ready for primer and paint. No need to like wire brush this because it is a cast block. We're gonna make this look pretty darn good as it is. I'll keep the sensors in when I paint, as you'll see me paint here in a little while. Once it dries, maybe tomorrow or later tonight, I will paint this motor, and it'll look pretty good. So main thing is to get all the water to drip off. We might have got a little water on the head and all that, but I'll clean it up. I got oil in there right now to kind of protect it. And yeah, so next is gonna be paint. So that's where we left off. We primered the motor. I did like 2 or 3 coats of primer. With Rust-oleum primer and paint, you want to go pretty quickly. So you put a coat on, it starts drying fast. Then you put another coat on. You want to do it within minutes of each other, and you got to read the can because this stuff is really kind of. If you want a good finish on this paint, you got to follow the directions of, and I'm sure that's with every paint. So did it 2 or I think 3 coats of primer total, and then about 4 coats of paint. Again, back to back, so it doesn't feel like you're putting on a lot of coats because you're doing it so quickly back to back. You're like waiting, you're putting on a coat, waiting a minute or two, putting on another coat, wait a minute or two, putting on another coat. So it's pretty thick, and I feel pretty confident that it's going to last for years to come. And especially because Rust-oleum is a really, really good paint for the application. And we did use the high heat, both high heat primer and high heat flat paint. And I like the flat paint on this application. Maybe on the next one, if it's a little flashier, I might go to high gloss paint. But it kind of looks, the way it looks right now, I think it looks cool because it has almost like a grayish tone to it because of the flat. So it kind of looks like almost like a ceramic paint would look. So yeah, that's where we are with the project right now. We have everything broken down, have the paint on there, have everything looking good and clean, and now starts the process of putting everything back together as parts come in. This week, I should be getting our transmission in. So I did, from Grannis Racing, we got the Magnum F, the T56 Magnum F, 6-speed, and we got a stage 3 clutch, a carbon fiber drive shaft. We got the slave cylinder on there. So once that comes in, guys, I'll be happy to show you. I'll make a video on it coming in, and then I'll start the content really strongly of this build because things will be here. I don't know how far out we are on ordering turbo, all the little nooks and crannies that go in it. I have the oil pump ready. I need a water pump. Need a lot of stuff that goes into this motor to get it ready to go in the car. But we're not far away from all that stuff. So once we send in our real street order for all that stuff, we're gonna get the turbo, pretty much everything we need is gonna come in one order. I'm not sure about time-wise how it's gonna trickle in, but pretty much everything we need for that motor is gonna be coming from Real Street from here on out. Grannis Racing provided the transmission. We bought that transmission. There was no You know, there's no sponsorship with Grannis or anything. Obviously, I'm not big enough for sponsorships, but so everything will be coming from this motor from Real Street, and then we're gonna start piecing it together. That's when I'll put the car in here. We'll yank that motor, pull the head off of it, start building the head with the cams, the springs, the retainer, and then we will marry the two together, put on the turbo, everything, try to do all the plumbing as far as turbo. My turbo is a Precision 6870, so it will have just the oil lines. So we'll put the oil feed and oil return on it. We'll put all the little nooks and crannies on it, and then we'll be able to put it back in the car and get it running car. Still need to work out fueling, which is going to be a dual pump setup 450s. It'll have a triple hanger, but we'll put two 450s to start. We still need our injectors. Injectors will be 1,000 cc, I believe. I'll talk to Jared about that, but yeah, so we'll get our injectors, and then we'll be using the GTE intake manifold on this motor. So that should make some good power like that. And then, yeah, so keep checking back, guys, for the build. I can't wait to build this car with you guys and have this running project and show you guys some. Hopefully by springtime we'll be running some numbers as far as quarter mile, eighth mile, all that good stuff. And then we'll move into project 3 maybe in the summertime. Depends on when I can get that body for that shell that I'm looking for. It just depends on what deal I can find. If I can find a car with a blown motor, that'd be great. If not, I'll try to look for a good deal. But that's where we are right now, guys. So I appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.